Captain Vell of the Galactic Council's monitoring station froze as the ancient receiver crackled to life. The sound was impossible. A transmission from the forbidden sector, the one marked in crimson across every star chart in known space. Sector where humanity once lived. "Captain," whispered Technician Rom, his forearms trembling as he adjusted the controls. It's coming from Earth." The bridge fell silent, except for the steady pulse of the signal. Every species in the galaxy knew the story. Humanity had been the youngest race to achieve faster-than-light travel. Barely 2 centuries after their first moon landing, they were crude, violent, and unpredictable. When they joined the Galactic Council, the elder races had watched with mixture of curiosity and concern. Then came the Great Silence. The Keth Empire, proud and ancient, had declared humanity a threat to galactic peace. "These humans," Emperor Keth had proclaimed, "spread like a plague across the stars. They terraform worlds without permission, establish colonies in contested space, and worst of all, they refuse to follow our guidance." The Council had voted. Humanity would be contained to their home system, cut off from the rest of the galaxy by an energy barrier that made faster-than-light travel impossible. It was meant to be temporary, just until they learned proper civilization. But humans had vanished entirely. No signals, no transmissions, no attempts to break the barrier. For 3 centuries, the Sol system had been a dead zone, monitored but never approached, until now. "Decode the signal," Captain Vell ordered, his voice steady despite the fear creeping through his scales. The message was simple, broadcast in perfect galactic standard. "This is Admiral Kane of the Terran Defense Force. We are returning to the galaxy. Prepare for our arrival." Within hours, the message had reached every corner of known space. The Keth Empire mobilized their fleets. The peaceful Ura Confederacy sealed their borders. Even the mighty Drex hegemony, who had never feared anything, began fortifying their core worlds. They all remembered the last time they had underestimated humanity. Admiral Kane stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the energy barrier that had caged his species for 3 centuries. Behind him stretched a fleet unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The ships were sleek, angular, and radiated an energy signature that made nearby space itself seem to ripple. 300 years, he said quietly to Commander Blake, his second in command. 300 years of isolation, of being treated like children who couldn't play nice with others. Blake nodded grimly. "The barrier won't hold much longer, sir. Our new drives are already destabilizing it." Kane had been born during the containment. His great-grandfather had been alive when the barrier first activated, trapping humanity in their own system. But humans had not simply sat and waited. They had grown, evolved, and developed technologies that made their previous achievements look primitive. Quantum engineering, dimensional manipulation, consciousness transfer. While the galaxy had stagnated under the Council's rigid bureaucracy, humanity had unlocked secrets that the elder races had never imagined possible. "Begin the procedure," Kane ordered. The Defiant's new quantum drive hummed to life. Space around the ship began to fold, reality bending in ways that violated every known law of physics. The barrier, maintained by 17 different species for 3 centuries, began to crack. On the Keth homeworld, alarm screamed through the Imperial Palace. Emperor Keth, descendant of the ruler who had ordered humanity's containment, stared at the tactical display in horror. "How many ships?" he demanded. "Unknown, Your Majesty. Our sensors cannot penetrate their stealth fields, but energy readings suggest thousands, perhaps tens of thousands. Impossible. Humans numbered barely 8 billion when we contained them." His aide's voice was barely a whisper. "Your Majesty, intelligence reports suggest they have colonized every planet, moon, and asteroid in their system. Population estimates exceed 100 billion. The barrier shattered dot across the galaxy. Every monitoring station detected the same thing, humanity's return. But these were not the same crude ships that had once fumbled through space. These vessels moved through dimensions, appeared and disappeared at will, and seemed to exist in multiple locations simultaneously. The first encounter came at the edge of Keth space. A patrol fleet of 12 ships encountered a single human vessel. The humans opened communication. "This is Captain Torres of the Terran vessel Retribution. You are ordered to withdraw from this sector immediately." The Keth commander laughed. "One ship against 12? Surrender now, and we will grant you a quick death." The human ship didn't fire weapons. Instead, it simply existed. The Keth vessels found themselves unable to move, their crews aging rapidly, their ships beginning to decay as if centuries were passing in seconds. "We have transcended your understanding of warfare," Captain Torres said calmly. "We can manipulate time, space, and the very fabric of reality. Your weapons cannot touch. U.S. Your shields cannot stop us. We are beyond your reach." The Keth fleet surrendered without firing a shot. Word spread quickly. Humanity had returned, but they had become something else. Something that made the elder races look like children playing with toys. They had spent 3 centuries in isolation, not sulking or planning revenge, but evolving into something that barely resembled their former selves. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from every major species gathered, their voices raised in panic and confusion. "We must negotiate," insisted the Ura ambassador. "Perhaps we can reach an understanding." "Understanding?" The Drex representative's voice was hollow. "They have mastered technologies we cannot comprehend. They could have broken the barrier at any time. They chose to return now, when they were ready." Admiral Kane's fleet appeared above the Council station without warning. No sensors had detected their approach. They simply materialized, as if stepping through a door from another dimension. The communication came directly to every mind in the station, bypassing all technology. "The galaxy belongs to all who inhabit it. The age of containment is over. We return not as conquerors, but as equals who will no longer be caged." The silence that followed was different from the one that had lasted 3 centuries. This was the silence of a galaxy realizing that everything had changed, and that humanity's return marked the beginning of a new era. In the depths of space, human ships continued to emerge from the Sol system, each one a testament to what 3 centuries of isolation had accomplished. A galaxy would never be the same. And this time, humanity would not be contained.